Hey, welcome back. We have a pen here. This just in from MachineWise. Last weekend they dropped their first G2 versions of the ROTA V2. And I really wanted to see what I thought. Initial impression, honestly, was that they looked a little nosy, a little heavy on the nose. But let's see what we actually think here. Well taped. Good job, MachineWise, on that. And you never know. Maybe it looks awesome in person. Maybe it looks terrible. Either way, it's a G2 refill, which, in my humble opinion, is superior to Parker. So that's cool. Let me get my personal info off of here, and then we will. Boom. Okay, the two springs are different. Try each. This is number 58. And what's kind of cool is my last one was 47. So that's a nice iteration there. If you're a little bit of a math nerd like myself. What do we have here? What is sitting right here in there? I'm not sure if that's an ink thing. Whoa, whoa, look at that. They threw in a red one. That's fun. Okay, MachineWise. This company, man, they do some interesting stuff. Now, I was also curious, is this box going to be bigger? It is the same size box as the Parker, so you can compare that. They left a little room there, planning ahead of time, MachineWise, very intuitive, on ending up with a larger mech. That's so cool. So number 58, raw tie, my favorite. And let's see what we think. First, mech feels solid. Obviously it's new out of the box, but versus my Parker, that's quite a difference there. Now this one's had, I don't know, a few hundred, iterations there, a few hundred cycles. So they're going to be doing a lot of different bodies and stuff. But what do you think? What do you think? Let's do a weigh-in, and I'm curious what you think about the nose there and how that looks. I personally like the look of this a little more. However, there is something to be said that the balance there is maybe even a little better. So let's do a few things. We will weigh them in. The original Parker was like right around ounce, 0.8 ounces. Here's the G2, 0.955 ounces. So you pick up less than 1/10 of an ounce, despite the additional size. And part of that's that G2 refills are really light, if you're not familiar. So they're lighter than most Parker size refills. And then I've been doing some ROTA testing right here. This is perfect. Okay, I'm gonna get into a decent position. MachineWise, ROTA number 58. I think they're using an 0.7 on their G2 refills. I prefer an 0.5 personally. So we can glean that really quickly. Yeah, 0.7s. First things first, I think, depending on what refill you run, of course, I might be noticing a little more tip wiggle, but let's see. Yeah, it's hard to say. I think I might be noticing a little more. If you prefer a smooth grip, then this allows you to kind of get off of the machine body and the milled body and be on a smoother grip because it's a longer grip area. This one, you're kind of on a hybrid between the grip, smooth, and the grip, which I actually really like. This feels pretty good to me. This one, you're definitely more on that smooth grip. So it feels like a smooth pen, but it's still got some of the nice looks to it. it's interesting how the looks vary so much. Now this was the first one I've seen that they made with a G2. It was number 58. I didn't see a lower serial number with a G2 refill. As you know, I love to nerd out on that kind of stuff on this channel. So that was kind of cool. I could have definitely missed trying to achieve that. When they do their drops, pro tip, they will default to the lowest serial number in the drop. So when the screen first shows up, everyone goes to number 58 out of this 70, you know, they're like 20. So at 58 through 78, everyone drops onto 58, and a bunch of people try and check out immediately on number 58 if that's the lowest serial number. So best thing you can do is go pick a different serial number in the drop and go check out on that one, because the default one is going to be the hardest one to get. I was very fast, luckily, on this first come, first serve drop, and I was able to get it. So pro tip there, trying to you know, help you all get the pens that you want and love out there. So I gotta spend a little more time with it. My initial impression is that I kind of like the feel of the pen a little more with the Parker size. Just the style, kind of, because there's so much mech here outside of the body. You get that longer nose on there, and the balance is fine. It doesn't feel super imbalanced, but it has a lot of pen sticking out above my hand there versus this. And so I really like the feel of this. This feels excessive. It feels like a very big pen, and it is. Let's not just weigh it in. Let's measure the length here, because I think that is going to be the tail of the tape, as they say on HBO Boxing. So that length is 5.75 inches. That's a lot longer than most people are used to on their pens, which is why I think this style pen, they defaulted to the Parker 5.25 inches or so with the Parker style. So that's a big difference. You're talking about a 1/2 inch additional body there. You could do it whichever way you want, but maybe it'll show up better on the screen this way. Let me get these perfectly even for you. Let's make sure I did that right. Okay, pretty big difference there. 1/2 inch almost. I'd say it's 1/3 to a 1/2 inch. I could be measuring a little off just doing this live on the video here. So yeah, food for thought. You know, great pen. You can't complain about it. Is it the perfect pen? You know, you gotta have to make decisions for yourself on this one. I'm still a little torn. I'm gonna have to spend some time with this to compare it to my Parker size ROTAs, which I've always really liked the size on those. So very cool. All for now. If you enjoyed, please feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.